Gytis,
Donatas.
what the hell?
Two things I
Which
want
is
to
the
ask
C?
you. Two things. Since when are we covering the Baltic derby between Estonia and Latvia on our podcast? And second of all, like you just said, what the hell did we just watch in the fourth quarter of this game?
This was the worst game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God! How long did it take for the result to change? Let's remember. I think it was the middle of the fourth quarter, and it wasn't a field goal. It
Let's
wasn't
give
a
some
made shot.
context.
Yeah.
Latvia won the game against Estonia, 72-70. Crucial drama win because we were kind of confident that Latvia will surpass Estonia really in an easy fashion. It was a drama. In the middle of the third quarter, Estonia was up by 11, 51-40. And a lot of crazy things happened since then. I mean, I don't know where we should start with, but...
Well, I remember a different score. I remember 61-54 being the score. And from that point, that's 2 minutes 33 left into the game.
Yeah.
From that point on, Estonia doesn't score a single field goal.
Until when?
Until...
1 minute and 37 seconds or something?
Yeah, until 1 minute, 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So that was over 10 minutes of missed shots, essentially.
During that break, they missed 13 straight field goals, 2 free throws, and made 4 turnovers. But on the other end, we had the same offensive disaster from Latvia because in the fourth quarter, they made their first shots in the 6th minute of the quarter. But it was, we kind of considered that shot as a fake shot because it was a goaltending, because Porzingis was trying to make a shot. I think it would have been a miss.
For sure, it was a miss.
But somebody from Estonia touched the rim and the net as well.
Touched the net more than
so
the rim,
it was a goaltending. But the first real field goal that Latvia made was actually with 1 minute and 37 seconds left. And Porzingis made a dunk. Okay, before he made a free throw. But I mean, it was a hell of a shit show, actually. It was crazy. I mean, wow.
I just love the keeping track of the score and being like, okay, there's 2 minutes left. The score of the quarter is 3-0. Then it was like, okay, now it's 3-3. Now it's 5-3.
And those who were running this FIBA broadcast, they're bastards, because after every miss, they were giving this additional information bar with no score for 10 minutes, no score for 6 minutes, no score for 4 minutes.
The field goals 0 out of 7, 0 out of 9, something like that. Yeah, but all fun and games, of course, Latvia won, but man, one of the hosts, one of the teams that had big expectations in this tournament is looking really, really bad so far. We saw that game against Turkey, got blown out by 20 points. Now against Estonia, who had zero hope against Serbia. You see Estonia being very competitive, and Latvia is barely escaping this game at home, where it seemed like there were more Estonian fans than there were actually Latvian fans at some point. It also sounded like that. Not just looked like it on the broadcast, but also sounded like I was hearing Eesti more than Latvia.
Yeah, because the game is in Riga. So Latvia was supposed to have this huge home court advantage against everybody, and this Latvian guy is going to be supported by this crazy crowd, which is, I mean, they have a really great crowd. We were watching the game and we were like, why it's so blue inside? We were texting our colleague from BasketNews, Edvinas, who's working over there, just to confirm if it's is that true of what we're seeing. And actually, yeah, he said it's like 50-50.
50-50, but it's maybe even more blue than
I just feel so bad for Estonian fans. Because, first of all, this team deserved to win this game. They just choked at this very last moment. And once again, I mean, you cannot, how to say, underrate their problems that they had before the tournament. Once again, I'm going to repeat that. They are missing the main center, Mike Kotzler, who just recently played in the EuroLeague. Kere Krisa, this, promising point guard who was already a flashy point guard for the team in the previous tournaments. Sim Sandervene got injured in the end of the second quarter, and he had 7 points, I think. So I think that he could have been this spark. So I can only imagine how hard for him it was to watch this game. And Estonian fans, they were even supporting their team against Serbia when they were down by 30. I mean, it was something, it's very unique scene. And to see your team losing that way, which probably means that EuroBasket might be over for Estonians after losing Portugal in game 1. And now in this crazy way, it's just really sad for Estonia. Because I love their, off-ball offense, of course, until the fourth quarter. But, there was a lot of movement. The lack of talent, clearly lack of talent. With Sander Vene out, it's like a huge thing. But they still tried ways because they're playing this team basketball. It's beautiful to watch how they play together. And on the other end, you saw this Latvian team just hitting the rim all the freaking time.
But like I said after the first time we spoke about Latvia, after they lost to Turkey, I just don't see an idea in that offense. I don't know what's the, like, most possessions end with a 3-pointer that's contested, or sometimes Porzingis gets the ball closer to the rim and then he fades from the post. This is most of the possessions. A lot of ball movement, but usually nothing's being created because there's no creators on the floor except for 2 guys probably, in Žagars and maybe Lomas. But I just don't see enough.
Lomas is solid. He's having a great off-season, let's say, summer with Latvian national team.
Not in this game. 3 out of 17 from the field, actually, in this game. So, but point being that I just lack, I don't know, maybe some guards to create in this team to have any actual potential, because we know this team needs to be offense heavy to win games. And if their offense is struggling, like they were struggling against Turkey, now they struggled against Estonia. My expectations for this team are plummeting down, really. And now whoever the Turkish fans that were saying, why are you putting Latvia over us? You know what? Yeah, you guys were right. I definitely didn't.
I'm fine. I didn't put Latvia over Turkey. Sam, I'm good. I'm good on this podcast. But I mean, and I maybe it's something like, Latvia is a not kind of unique team, but they're a streaky team, and I don't like teams that rely so heavily on offense, because that's why they say defense wins championships, because this is something you can work on, you can establish, and you can rely on. So far, we see that those shots, although they took a lot of good shots, actually, they just couldn't make them. And when you don't have any, let's say, support from your behind, from defensive end, kind of a system, that's what happens. And I think that Latvia maybe was nervous in the EuroBasket opener. They faced a huge opponent, Turkey. They're playing at home. There are a lot of expectations. They lost. They play Estonia. They started really slowly. They scored like 5 points in the first few minutes of the game. Porzingis had few quick turnovers to start the game, something quite unusual for him, because he also made a lot of turnovers against Turkey, I think 6. And even in this game, 7 turnovers, my friend. 7 turnovers out of 13. I think the whole team was nervous, but with these streaky teams, that's what usually happens. You never know when things can change like this. So maybe this win will help them to kind of ease a little bit, to calm down, to kind of, maybe they're going to have some locker room conversations like French team did last year in the Paris Olympics, if you remember, when things changed like that. Of course, France had way more potential than Latvia, but that's what happens with these streaky, hot, unpredictable teams that this Latvia team is.
Yeah, well, in any case, a win is better than a loss against Estonia, and they gotta turn it around pretty quickly because they're playing Serbia tomorrow at 6 p.m. So it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy.
Still can't get over those highlights of dangerous shots in the fourth quarter. That's how they play those in football. Dangerous,
That's a bad translation, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like
Baltics know, Baltics who watch this podcast, they know.
Yeah.